The tragic flight of Germanwings 9525. Deliberate crash by co-pilot. A mental health crisis. Welcome to Air Crash Detective. Tonight, we delve into the heartbreaking story of Germanwings Flight 9525. On March 24, 2015, Germanwings Flight 9525, an Airbus A320-211, departed from Barcelona El Prat Airport in Spain, bound for Düsseldorf Airport in Germany. Tragically, this routine flight ended in catastrophe. At approximately 10:41 a.m. local time, the aircraft crashed into the French Alps, killing all 150 people on board. The investigation revealed that the crash was a deliberate act by the co-pilot Andreas Lubitz, highlighting a severe mental health crisis and exposing significant vulnerabilities in aviation safety protocols. Conditions on the day of the flight. On March 24, 2015, the weather conditions over the French Alps were generally favorable for flying. The skies were partly cloudy, with visibility extending up to 10 kilometers, providing clear views of the mountainous terrain. The winds were light and variable, posing no immediate threat to flight operations. Temperatures were mild, consistent with early spring in the region, and there were no reports of significant turbulence or adverse weather phenomena. These favorable conditions indicated that external environmental factors were not a contributing cause to the crash. The clear skies and stable atmospheric conditions allowed for optimal flying, making the subsequent events all the more tragic, as they were not influenced by weather-related issues. The airline and its crew. Germanwings, a subsidiary of Lufthansa, was known for providing low-cost air travel across Europe. The airline had a solid safety record and was considered reliable by industry standards. The rigorous training and operational protocols were aligned with those of its parent company, Lufthansa, ensuring high standards of safety and service. The crew of Flight 9525 included experienced professionals. Captain Patrick Sondenheimer, aged 34, with over 6,000 flight hours. Captain Sondenheimer was a seasoned pilot, well regarded for his professionalism and calm demeanor. His experience included both short-haul and long-haul flights, making him a versatile and capable pilot. He had extensive training in handling various flight scenarios, from normal operations to emergency situations. Co-pilot Andreas Lubitz, aged 27, with 630 flight hours. Lubitz had joined Germanwings in 2013 and had undergone rigorous training. Despite his relatively lower flight hours, he was considered competent by his peers. However, unknown to many, Lubitz was battling severe mental health issues. His medical history included episodes of depression and psychiatric treatment, which he had not fully disclosed to his employer. In total, there were 6 crew members on board, including 4 flight attendants, trained to handle a variety of in-flight situations and emergencies. The professionalism and experience of the crew were evident in their adherence to protocols and their efforts to ensure passenger safety. The aircraft, Airbus A320-211. Germanwings Flight 9525 was operated by an Airbus A320-211, a reliable and widely used aircraft in commercial aviation. Let's delve into the specifics of this model. Airbus A320-211. Part of the A320 family, known for its efficiency and reliability. First flight, March 22, 1988, introducing advanced avionics and improved fuel efficiency. Capacity, configured to carry up to 180 passengers in a single-class layout, optimizing for short to medium haul flights. Maximum altitude, capable of reaching up to 39,000 feet, allowing for flexible flight operations above weather disturbances. Range, approximately 3,300 nautical miles, 6,100 kilometers, making it suitable for a variety of routes. Engines, equipped with two CFM56 5A1 turbofan engines, each providing about 25,000 pounds of thrust, known for their reliability and efficiency. Dimensions. The aircraft measured 123 feet 3 inches, 37.6 meters in length, and had a wingspan of 111 feet 10 inches, 34.1 meters, making it highly maneuverable. The Airbus A320-211 was celebrated for its advanced fly-by-wire control system, which replaced traditional mechanical controls with electronic signals. This innovation allowed for more precise handling and enhanced safety features, contributing to the A320's reputation for reliability. The aircraft was equipped with multiple layers of redundancy in its critical systems, ensuring operational reliability even in adverse conditions. A flight departure and initial ascent. Germanwings. Flight 9525 took off from Barcelona El Prat Airport at 10:01 a.m. local time, heading for Düsseldorf Airport. The flight's initial phase was uneventful, with the aircraft climbing steadily to its cruising altitude of 38,000 feet. The crew maintained regular communication with air traffic control, reporting no issues as the aircraft cruised over the Mediterranean Sea and into French airspace. Passengers settled into the short flight, some engaging in conversations, others reading or resting. The cabin crew performed their duties efficiently, ensuring that passengers were comfortable and attended to. The flight path was clear, and the weather conditions posed no threats, leading everyone on board to expect a routine journey to Düsseldorf. Pre-disaster moments. In the minutes leading up to the disaster, everything appeared normal on Germanwings Flight 9525. At approximately 10:27 a.m., Captain Patrick Sondenheimer left the cockpit for a brief break, entrusting the controls to co-pilot Andreas Lubitz. This routine procedure is common on flights to ensure that pilots can manage their duties over extended periods. However, once Lubitz was alone in the cockpit, he initiated a series of actions that would lead to the flight's tragic end. Lubitz locked the cockpit door, preventing Captain Sondenheimer from re-entering. He then manually set the autopilot to descend to 100 feet, far below the safe operating altitude for the aircraft. The cockpit voice recorder captured the sound of Captain Sondenheimer returning and attempting to regain access to the cockpit. He tried to override the lock using an emergency code, but Lubitz had overridden this security feature. The captain's increasingly desperate attempts to enter the cockpit, including banging on the door and shouting, were recorded, highlighting the gravity of the situation. The catastrophic event. At approximately 10:31 a.m., Germanwings Flight 9525 began its fatal descent from 38,000 feet. The aircraft's rapid descent was initially unnoticed by air traffic control due to the gradual nature of the altitude change. However, as the descent continued, concerns grew and attempts to contact the flight were made, all of which went unanswered. Inside the cockpit, Lubitz remained silent, breathing steadily as the plane continued its descent. The autopilot, following Lubitz's manual input, guided the aircraft towards the mountainous terrain of the French Alps. The passengers and cabin crew, initially unaware of the impending disaster, began to realize something was wrong as the descent became steeper and more pronounced. At 10:41 a.m., after descending for approximately 10 minutes, the Airbus A320-211 crashed into the French Alps at a speed of over 430 knots, about 800 kilometers per hour. The impact was catastrophic, disintegrating the aircraft and instantly killing all 150 people on board. The violence of the crash left debris scattered over a large area, complicating recovery efforts. Aircraft response to the catastrophe. The Airbus A320-211, with its advanced design and multiple safety features, was not equipped to handle the deliberate actions of the co-pilot. The fly-by-wire system, while designed to enhance safety and control, could not counteract the deliberate descent programmed by Lubitz. The aircraft's robust construction and redundancy systems were rendered ineffective by the human element of the crisis. The flight data recorder captured the rapid descent and the various inputs made by Lubitz. The data indicated that the aircraft remained fully functional throughout the descent, with no mechanical failures contributing to the crash. The integrity of the A320's design was evident, as it responded precisely to the autopilot's commands, even as those commands led it to disaster. The aircraft systems worked exactly as designed, but they could not override the intentional actions of a pilot intent on destruction. Crew and passenger final moments. The final moments on Germanwings Flight 9525 were marked by confusion, terror, and helplessness. The cockpit voice recorder captured the captain's desperate attempts to re-enter the cockpit, using every means available to him. Passengers likely experienced a sudden awareness of the aircraft's descent, feeling the unusual angle and speed. The cabin crew, despite their training, would have been unable to manage the situation effectively, given the locked cockpit and the rapid escalation of events. Passengers, initially calm, would have felt increasing alarm as the aircraft continued its steep descent. The final seconds before impact were filled with panic and chaos, as the reality of the impending crash became undeniable. Despite the crew's training and the aircraft's safety features, the deliberate actions of the co-pilot rendered all efforts futile. The tragedy highlighted the vulnerabilities in aviation safety, particularly regarding mental health and the protocols for cockpit security. The inability of the captain and crew to intervene underscored the devastating impact of compromised mental health in critical roles. Impact, aftermath, and reforms. The crash of Germanwings Flight 9525 resulted in the loss of all 150 individuals on board, including passengers and crew. The remote location of the crash site in the French Alps complicated recovery operations, with teams working in challenging conditions to recover remains and investigate the wreckage. The loss profoundly impacted families and communities, prompting an outpouring of grief and calls for improved aviation safety. The investigation, led by the French Bureau of Inquiry and Analysis for Civil Aviation Safety, BEA, revealed that the crash was a deliberate act by co-pilot Andreas Lubitz. Lubitz had a history of severe depression and had concealed his condition from his employer. The investigation highlighted critical gaps in the monitoring of pilots' mental health and the need for better communication between medical professionals and aviation authorities. In the aftermath, significant reforms were implemented to enhance aviation safety. Airlines worldwide revised their protocols to ensure that at least 2 crew members are present in the cockpit at all times. Additionally, there was a renewed focus on the mental health of flight crews, with more stringent assessments and support systems introduced to identify and manage mental health issues. The legacy of Germanwings Flight 9525 underscores the importance of addressing mental health in the aviation industry and ensuring robust safety protocols to prevent similar tragedies. Thank you for watching Air Crash Detective. If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more detailed accounts of aviation disasters and safety investigations.